3 up, 2 across, tap that play button 3 times, and walk through the archway into Dialogue Alley. Hello, and welcome to the podcast. Dialogue Alley is a show about Harry Potter books, book translations, and all other things magical. I'm Carly from All the Pretty Books, and with me is Erik from Nocturne Erik, and Melanie from the Harry Potter Collection.
Hi!
Hey, all right.
The three of us are Harry Potter book translation collectors, and we collect other Harry Potter magical things.
We do,
Yes.
but mostly books.
Mostly books.
But lots of other things too.
I claim not to collect Funko Pops, but I think I secretly do, since I have over 100.
Oh, I officially do.
Yeah, but you owned that.
Melanie and I talked about this last time. Melanie has like all of them, and then Carly, you're like, I don't really collect them, but I have like 100.
I know. That is so impressive, Melanie, by the way.
I'm over it, but I'm too deep in it at this point, so I have to just keep on going.
Well, they were. Like, at one point, they were kind of, when they first started out, you had time in between to get them all, and now I feel like every time you turn around, there's something new.
That's correct. You are 100% correct.
So I think you're very brave to do the books and the pops. You have,
Thanks.
points to Hufflepuff or something.
Thank you very much.
A house cup that will never end because they're going to continuously release more and more Funko Pops.
I know, and
until the world stops turning.
They'll never release an Arthur. I just want an Arthur Weasley.
Well, we got a Molly last year, so you never know. Never say never.
You know what I would love? I would love a Ford Anglia with Harry, Hedwig, and Ron. How is that not a great movie moment?
I don't think that's not outlandish. I think that could happen. I'll be honest with you.
I would have to buy that if it comes out. I'm slowing down on the pop buying, and I'm actually thinking of selling off some, although I look at them individually, and it's like, oh, but I like that one, and then I like them all. And then it's like, well, I guess we're keeping them right now.
They're fun. I have little stories with them, on my shelves. I'm one of those, I take them out of the boxes, and then each shelf has, a different story sort of thing. So they're fun.
I wish I did stories. Mine are all out of the box as well, but I place them on my shelves in whichever way I find them, and then if one falls off the shelf, it gets placed in a new place. So that's why, if you watch my YouTube videos, they're rarely in the same place.
There you go.
So, good job on the shelf, though. Or on the stories. That's great.
Thanks.
Today we're going to talk about the news. Main segment is Harry Potter New York Store. We've got the translation of the show. And if we have time, we'll get to some listener questions. But first, we're going to get started with some news.
All right, so we have actually some books that have been released within the past week or so. We're about mid-June right now as we record this, and the Deathly Hallows House editions are out. So about time, right? We can finally finish our house editions.
About time. I feel like every time I turn around, there's been a new house edition out.
Well, here's the thing that's funny about them is that they're the 20th anniversary edition of Philosopher's Stone, right? That's why they started coming out. Next year is already the 25th anniversary of Philosopher's Stone. So
I know.
What's going to happen next year?
If they come out with some new cycle of all 7 books with 4 houses, or if it's the Durmstrang edition.
Oh no.
I'm going to be done. I cannot commit to getting 7 books in all 4 houses of any other set. That was a bad idea on my part. I'm fine with it now, but man, it takes up so much space.
Yes.
And it's a lot of money.
I didn't realize how much of a commitment it was.
Yeah.
Because I was just going to buy all 8 of the House Edition Philosopher's Stone. And then Chamber came along and was like, well, those are alternating. Because, they alternated the covers from the Philosopher's Stone to the Chamber. And then Azkaban came out and I was like, oh, we're already too far in.
Well, because you did softcover and hardcover. I only did hardcover, and I thought it was too big of an endeavor to take on.
I like the alternation, on a shelf and all the photos, they look so nice. And I was like, I could do that too. And I started picturing my shelves that way. And I've just gone crazy with them. Seriously, that's so many books. I don't even want to do the math.
If I wasn't collecting translations or just other sets that are amazing and having just a whole shelf of these, if I only had like casual Harry Potter books, I might have gotten all 4 houses like and been super jazzed about it because they're easy to get and they look really nice on your shelf. Mm-hmm. But I didn't. I underestimated just the amount of space they would take up.
I agree with that.
I agree entirely. Because when Philosopher's Stone came out, I was like, this is doable. And then I somehow forgot, even though I know, they get thicker as the story progresses.
Yes, that happened to me too. Mm-hmm. When Goblet of Fire came out, I was like, oh no.
It's just so... And then, I don't know, I had this really cool design with like books 1, 2, and 3, and then 4 just screwed everything up because it's so much bigger and it doesn't look normal now. I don't know. But I'm too far in.
I just pulled them from my shelves and now I have them on top of my bookcases. I think I mentioned that like in an episode or 2 ago. Like that's how I organize them because they took up way too much room on my shelves. So now each of my bookcases has a different house on top of it, which that actually, it looks pretty
I bet it
nice.
Looks really nice.
It does look really nice.
Are they standing up straight or are they like laying flat?
Both actually. I did on some, I tried to do them different on each shelf. So on some shelves, it's the paperbacks are laying flat and the hardcovers are upright. Some of them it's both. Some of them it's one or the other again. But yeah, I tried to style them each differently. And then I also tried to style each shelf to like correlate with that house. So we'll see how that turns out.
Wow, that is just way more cohesive than my my plan that's going on here. I'm just putting them on in alphabetical order and I have them all in a row. But that's a good idea because if I run out of space, I could put them on top of my shelf. Mm-hmm. And honestly, you could put them all laying flat, stacking because they're the same height because it's the same book.
Yep.
And it would take up less space and it would look kind of cool on the top of the shelf. So
yep.
Something to consider if I need to. But the news is that those are out. So if you, like us, are needing to get them or wanting to get them, you can now get them. Yep. But you can't just get them from an American bookstore, unfortunately. So you can get these through Book Depository. You can actually get them on Amazon through a third-party seller. I think you can also get them, if you're Canadian, you can just get them at your local bookstore as well. But us Americans have to do a little extra step to get them. And we unfortunately also cannot get them through the Bloomsbury website because they only mail things to people in the UK. And I believe Australia as well.
Womp womp.
Yep.
Womp womp. But that's it. So they're out. So once these are done...
They're out. I haven't bought 6 and 7 yet. I'm going to do that grumpily.
My book 6 is stuck in the UK because I was supposed to go. This is like the saddest news ever. My best friend is due to get married and she was supposed to get married this summer. So I sent all of my books to her, figuring I would just take them back with me when I went this summer. But now she had to postpone her wedding for a second time. And
why?
Because the country still is like wavering on what they're doing as far as reopening and whatnot. So it's just like the biggest bummer of all time. And my heart is just like broken into 1,000 pieces for her. So,
and you haven't got to see her in a long time. Y'all are super close.
Since my wedding. It's horrible.
Oh my goodness. That's a long time.
I know. So I mean, obviously I'm more upset about the fact that I can't see my friend than I am about my books, but also my book 6 is there. But they're all first prints, so it's all good. That's what I have in my head.
Yeah,
And you still have them.
Yeah, they're waiting for me. I'll get them eventually.
Yeah.
For some reason, and I heard this from somebody else too, the Half-Blood Prince Slytherin edition is super hard to get right now.
Why?
It's like $50 on Book Depository.
Oh no.
That's interesting.
I'm going to see if I've got a way around that. So I'm going to see if I can't work that.
Well, and that's where, like, if you know someone that can go to a bookstore and just get it, it's probably not overpriced.
Yeah.
I just don't know, like, did they not print enough of them? Is that the most popular of the 4? Carly would argue yes.
Of course.
Melanie and I would argue no. But who knows? I don't know. But anyway, did any of you guys get anything in the mail recently?
No.
No. Afraid not.
I haven't. I've actually been sending out a lot of books because I'm having I've got so many books that I've got for sale. Like I've probably got 400 or 500 books that I've got to sell. So I'm doing book sales on Instagram. So I've been mailing out a ton of books.
Well, that's news.
It is news. It's good
Go buy
news.
Carly's books, everybody.
Yes, please. They need new homes. I need space.
I did. If you haven't seen the sale, I know some of your stuff went pretty quickly, but it's just
Today
kind of
it
a
did,
good
yeah.
mix. It's a good mix of translations, American editions, UK editions,
Soft cover
all books,
and
books
hardcover.
1 through 7.
All the
Right,
pretty
it's just
books.
Kind of a mix match of everything. So you might find something that you fancy, and you can take it home.
Exactly.
Oh, well, I got mail today. I got the Catalan Old Wizard original cover.
Yay!
Which was on my list of things I wanted to get this year. So that was fantastic. I did a trade with a fellow translation collector, Brian. And I have a nice unboxing video on my Instagram page if anyone wants to watch me sit in my basement by myself in the middle of a Monday because I'm on summer break here. Yeah, but it was kind of nice. And so we did a trade for that book. And he sent me the first book of the New Italian series that we talked about last show and the show before, Melanie. So,
cool.
Yay!
that was super, super generous of him. So it was just totally blindsided me. I was just aghast in a really good way. So that was an awesome surprise, and it was a really good day maker, good mail day.
Great mail day.
Great mail day, actually. It's one of the best book mail days I've had in a really long time.
Yeah.
So that's all I got.
So what do you think of the first state Catalan?
I mean, it is what it is. It's almost identical book-wise to the second state. It's just a different picture on the cover. So
I love the shape of those books.
They're good. We should talk about them at another show because I think those are just a really good book size as well.
I agree.
We could probably do a
Catalan books.
whole episode just on all the different Catalan books because there are so many different ones. Like not a crazy outlandish amount, but there are a nice variety of them.
It's a surprising amount, to be honest. For a speaker base that's not that huge.
I think the books were just really popular.
Yeah, well, it's a very proud speaker base too. So if you speak Catalan, you will definitely go buy this book in Catalan and not Spanish.
Right. Oh, definitely.
Or in addition to Spanish, but you will also have the Catalan version.
Yes. And it's a cool language. It's actually I love to hear it spoken.
I also got, this is part of the trade with Brian, but I did get the Khmer book 2. My friend's friend who goes back and forth to Cambodia, and the pandemic situation was kind of on that whole thing. Finally got back, so I have a Khmer book 2, which, let me tell you, is just as wild as Khmer book 1.
They feel like giant coloring books.
They're huge books. And if you don't have one, they're hard to get. I'm so surprised at how difficult they are to get now.
Very.
But they're huge books, and they're floppy, and they're amazing. And the first book uses the Mary Grand Pré American cover art. The second book uses the Thomas Taylor. Was it Thomas Taylor that did?
No. It's
Cliff Wright.
No. Cliff Wright. You're right, because he only did the first book. That's still crazy to me that he only did the first book. But yeah, he uses the UK version. So book 1 is American, book 2 is UK, and that's it. There's no book 3,
nope,
or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7. It's just that's it.
Kind of glad. They're so hard to find now.
I know. Well, I mean, they're either still in print or they're still available, but not very widely available. So yeah, we should do that for another translation of the show too, because those are hard to get. So if you get a chance to get a Khmer book, get it, because I don't know for how much longer they'll be available.
I agree.
But that's it for news. I'm super excited to get to the main segment tonight. I don't know about you, Carly.
I'm super excited too. I told everybody that that I'm going to record the podcast and that I'm going to get to talk about the New York Harry Potter store.
Yay! I can't wait to talk about it with you guys.
Oh, okay. Well, let's just get to it. Let's talk about it.
Okay, so Harry Potter, New York. Oh my goodness, what a place. I think I'm gonna just connect my house to the Flu Network directly to there because I spent my entire day there and I still have a million more things that I want to buy, a million things that I didn't even see, and it was just absolutely beyond spectacular.
How big is the store?
So, right now, it is 2 floors, but it is going to be more than that because come July, they're actually adding virtual reality rides to the store.
Oh my goodness, to the store? Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So this is not just a Harry Potter store. It's it's an experience. The whole place is just an experience. And what's funny is when you go into the store, they make announcements every so often saying, oh, because of high demand and there are so many people waiting in line, please limit your time to an hour. It's impossible. It is not humanly possible to take in everything that store has to offer in an hour. There is just no way.
So lots of going back.
Though, when they increase the amount of things that you can do there, the capacity will obviously increase as well. And I kind of got the feeling before it even opened that there was going to be more to it because they just call it Harry Potter New York. They don't call it like Harry Potter Store, the official Harry Potter store.
Right.
It's just Harry Potter New York.
I hadn't thought about that. So it seems
more like a destination rather than just a merchandise buying emporium.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, you can kind of get that too because, I mean, they have like the butterbeer bar and they have like snacks that you can buy and they have merchandise that you can buy. So it just logically makes sense that they would also have something else. Now, virtual reality, that's something that I didn't necessarily see coming.
I didn't either.
And I'm curious to see what they're going to do. Hopefully it's not like a Flu Network simulator.
Well,
they just spin you really fast.
Here's the thing. So before I get like too deep into an overview of the store or anything about the store, I will say that this is going to contain spoilers. So if you have not experienced the store yet and you don't want things to be spoiled for you, maybe like fast forward to the translation of the show or come back to this episode at another point because I'm going to be talking about a lot of really cool stuff. The first thing I'm going to say is, don't worry, Erik, they already have their own Flu Network there because the elevator is literally the Flu Network. Like, that's what the elevator
so cool.
is. So you go into the elevator. It looks like a fireplace on the outside. It has a mantle on top with a bunch of pictures of Ministry wizards. And you open it up. When the elevator opens up, it's all green flames, green light, and it's like you're going through the Flu Network. It's unbelievable.
So
I saw a
cool.
video of you doing that with your baby, and I got so giggly because I'm like, I don't like the babies. Are they able to travel through flu powder? Like that seems very unsafe. Like, could you hold a baby and actually go through the fireplace?
I mean,
I don't know.
She was in her stroller. She was holding on tight. I wasn't gonna leave her behind.
Oh, good.
She was an absolute trooper the whole day. Like, I can't even believe how amazing she was. She napped. Like, who is this kid?
That is so cool.
Before we do like a whole store walkthrough, do you get the feeling that your time would have been more efficient had there been less people in the store?
I'm gonna say that I don't really feel like the crowds hindered anything because they were managed very well. So the virtual queue was very well organized. Even we were the first experience with the virtual queue. So I feel like they worked their bugs out with it at a later date. But even with that, it still worked pretty well. We had checked in probably about 9:30 was when they came around to us in line with the queue and checked in. And we probably got into the store around 12:30. So it was a few hours wait. We had gone to like a little breakfast shop down the street, and that's where we waited things out. So that was one line. And then once it was our turn, we went right into the store. There were other things within the store that had lines, but what they did to try to manage them was they would allow for one person to wait in line while other people in your party like searched around the store. So it kind of made the lines shorter. and then you could just like text the rest of the people that were in your party to come back at that time. So we had like we had some friends that we were shopping around with, and like for example, Peter was in line for getting a shirt customized, and our friend Diego was in line for the Mina Lima store, and we kind of just hopped in line with each other back and forth to make sure we were all getting our stuff done. So yeah, I think that everything, even though it was really crowded, everything was managed really well.
That's awesome.
That's
I was
good,
really
'cause
worried about that.
Yeah,
Their
not bad.
goal is to not have a giant line outside of their store.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, like, nobody wants that. No one wants to have to stand outside. So that virtual queue thing is just awesome. I know it's been used, like at theme parks, you can use that. So
Yeah.
it makes sense that they just use it here.
They're definitely trying, and I know that they've done things recently to kind of change things up. So when we first did the virtual queue, it was we would check in, and then it would show you a countdown of how many people are in front of you, give you an estimated time. Now I don't think they're doing the estimated time anymore. I think they're just saying, we'll send you a text when it's time to come back, and then you have an hour now to get back to the store instead of 15 minutes. And I've been following the Harry Potter New York Instagram page, and usually during the week it seems as though the queue fills up by like 3:00, the earliest or the latest, I don't know. Usually by 3:00 is when the queue gets filled up for the day, and they won't take anybody else in. On the weekends, it's significantly earlier. It's probably about 11:00 in the morning. The queue is already filled for the day.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
But I expect that.
We anticipated, Melanie, that like after the novelty has worn off, there won't be that virtual queue anymore. But now that we're talking about adding these experiences to it, I get the feeling that that's not going to go away. That's just going to kind of be the norm, which is good in the sense that you know, it limits the amount of people in the store. So obviously for COVID reasons now, but also you don't want to be in a store with just a bunch of people. It's a fire hazard and it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, it gets
but
hot.
Also, like now this then makes it more like if you want to get to the like actual Wizarding World like early to get on the Hagrid ride, you have to get there at 5 a.m. or stay on property, you know? So like now it's turning into kind of like that type of experience.
Yeah.
In New York as well, which, I mean, I have mixed feelings about. Like, if you want to do it, go get up there early, because people that are not full-heartedly in it are not going to do that. But then if you're just, like, the casual person walking around Manhattan, and you're like, oh, that looks really cool, I want to go in. And like, sorry, it's closed today. Like, it filled up 4 hours ago.
Yep.
Like, that's kind of disappointing, because, I mean, the goal would be everyone that wants to go in can go in.
Right.
So, I don't know, it'll just be curious to see after time goes by what the like the new norm becomes with their traffic flow.
Yeah, my prediction is like in the fall, I think things will start leveling out, because the virtual reality is supposed to open up in July. And in the summertime, people are off from school. The weather is nice, so people are in the city more. So I feel like the summertime, it's still going to be very busy. And then I think once the weather starts cooling off and people are back to school and back to routine and whatnot, I think it'll start leveling out a little bit. That's the thought.
I think so. Well, they'll get the routine down, and I don't know. I feel sorry for the people who go to New York not realizing that that they have to get there earlier. They don't get to go.
Yeah.
That would be my worry. But I guess if you're going to go, like, you should research it.
Yeah, and it's pretty sad too. Like, even when we went on opening day, we showed up to the store at our like call time. It was 12:30, and there were people waiting outside the store. And this one girl like turned to me and said, "Well, if you're trying to get into the store, you're not going to get in. They're sold out for the day." And I said, "Sorry, we got here really early in the morning, so we're going in right now." Actually,
what time did y'all get there?
Peter got to the line around 7:30, maybe earlier, maybe like 7. We drove in and hit like a little bit of traffic, so we got there around 8:30. We were trying to get there at 8. I had a car issue. It was an interesting morning.
No.
So we met him and just joined him in line technically we didn't even really have to, because he was able to check in at the virtual queue and say that we were 5 people, because his mom was there also. My mom was there. We had the baby. So yeah, he checked in. But the line was fun because there were a lot of people that we knew that were in line. And
I saw Diego was there. I just adore him.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, he's wonderful. I love Diego. So he was there. Actually, I'm so bummed out because this is like a little sidebar, but a few years ago when Cursed Child was premiering on Broadway, me and my friend Julie went to be like first people in line because we knew that J.K. Rowling was going to be there. So we had like camped out the night before. Then it got creepy. We went back to the hotel, and then like at 4 a.m. we went down and we met with a group of people and became like very friendly with them. And then it turns out that Julie is actually now best friends with this girl, Katie, who she met online to meet J.K. Rowling.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, so the two of them are like inseparably close now. And now it turned out for the Harry Potter store, Katie was first in line and the first person that got to go into the store on opening day.
That's so neat.
Yeah, she got there at 7 p.m. the night before. She's crazy, but she got in first. So
yeah, she did.
Bless her. So
well, I think we should talk about kind of what's in the store. So Melanie, you mentioned there's spoilers, so now's your time, spoiler people. But I mean, do you want to just like pretend that you're walking through the store?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Kind of tell us what it was like.
Sure. Okay. So.
Okay, I'm excited.
When you first walk in the store, the first little room that you're going to be in is kind of just a Harry Potter New York experience store. They also little room. They also have Makusa themed things in there because that's in New York. So that's where you're going to find those things. And that's also the room that's going to have that giant phoenix that's teased all over the internet that everyone sees, that beautiful phoenix that's hanging from the ceiling. So that's the stuff that you're going to find in that first room. It's a lot of exclusive items just to Harry Potter New York, which is really cool. I bought a sweatshirt from that area. They have spirit jerseys that are exclusive to Harry Potter New York that are in that room. Lots of stationery, journal type things. So that is really cool.
So here's a question.
Sure.
Do you get the vibe now? We just talked about the store filling up, getting capacity at noon. Do you get the vibe that once more stuff's in there, that little area will become kind of its own thing? Like you can just go in and out of that if you want to buy your exclusive Harry Potter New York themed merch? Like if someone's like, "Hey, buy me a Harry Potter New York mug when you're in the city," you might be able to just bop in and get that.
You would think, but the cash wrap is like in the opposite corner of the store, so you kind of have to walk through. But what's cool is there is an entrance on the other side of the store that has another similar kind of room that has like more Harry Potter apparel. Obviously, the whole store is Harry Potter stuff, but it has like this modern styled apparel in that room based on that entrance. And right next to that is where the butterbeer bar is. And right next to that is the cash desk. So I have a feeling that you might be able to just go into the butterbeer bar, or you could quickly get something from that other first room and then go to the cash desk. So it depends. And it's going to be a matter of when things simmer down, whether they're going to start opening that second entrance to the store.
Sure. Or if like the virtual queue just becomes like for the virtual rides that are going to be there, and like the store will not be. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. So once you go through that first room that has the Phoenix, my recommended route is to make a right, and that's going to bring you into a Hogwarts house room where it's so cool. So the room has like this special carpet, and each corner of the carpet has a different house relic that identifies which house is in that corner. So each corner is a different house, all sorts of themed stuff. You could get your house sweaters, you could get a spirit jersey for your house. You could get a lot of stuff that you would generally see at Wizarding World of Harry Potter, but there are definitely things that are exclusive just to Harry Potter New York as well, which is really
nice.
neat.
Yeah.
And what's cool about this room too is that if you look up, the ceiling in that room shows a Quidditch match that's happening in Central Park. Like that's what it's based after. So it has like the New York skyline kind of around it. So that
is it moving?
It's I don't know. It's not, but I'm pretty sure you like hear the snitch, if I remember correctly.
Oh, okay.
You can hear the snitch. It's not like a moving magical portrait, though everything there is magical. And then another thing that I will mention is that there are these relics that you can find throughout the store that are actual movie props, and each prop has a special code. And if you unlock all of the secret codes, you earn a magical prize at the end, which is really
You get to sleep overnight in the store.
Ah, that's the dream.
That's so cool.
You get to use the prefix bathroom on the second floor of the store.
Oh, yes. You have to know the password to get in, though, I'm afraid. So there you go. So then once you go through this Hogwarts house room, it brings you into the atrium, which is so insanely cool. It has all sorts of little things around it, that you could buy. And that's really the main room that connects you to where the cash wrap is. It connects you to, pretty much everything else, because it has this main staircase in the middle, a big round staircase. And it also has a giant griffin in the middle, which is like you're entering Dumbledore's office, which is so cool.
That's amazing.
Or Snape's office in book 7.
Yeah, okay. If we're being technical.
You mean Armando Dibbitt's office?
Oh my goodness. You're too much. All right. So, off of the atrium, there are 3 like direct rooms, I'll say. Or there's a lot of direct rooms. There's a lot going on in the store. I don't know if you get the gist of it, but there are a lot of things happening here.
Well, I'm getting that. I'm picking that vibe up, Melanie. I'm picking it up.
All right. So I'll give you a brief little synopsis of each room. So one room is like a Honeydukes room. It's all sorts of sweets, candies. You get your chocolate frogs that are in there. There's butterbeer. There's exclusive butterbeer bottles that you could get just at the New York store that have Mina
so
Lima
cool. I wanted to
designs
ask
on
about
them.
the butterbeer. Is it really good? Is it different?
Oh my gosh, it's so good. So when you buy it in the bottle, it's just like the liquid butterbeer. It's fizzy, it's delicious. But the butterbeer bar, you could get like your cold butterbeer that has like the whipped topping.
Yes.
It's so good. Ugh, so good. So good. I want to go back.
How much was the bottle?
Ooh. Oh my gosh.
We both asked a question. How much was the bottle?
I don't know off the top of my head, only because my mom bought a 4-pack of them and was kind enough to give us one of the bottles of the 4-pack.
Okay, because I'm getting the feeling that if the bottle is really amazing, it's probably more than just a regular pop bottle.
I don't think, you know what? I don't really feel like stuff was that like outlandishly expensive. Like it's comparable to if you were to buy things in the Wizarding World, but it wasn't really that crazy. Like for example, I'm pretty sure if you wanted to buy like your house robes at Wizarding World in Florida, it's like $125. And then at the store in New York, I think they were only $100. So
okay, so that actually makes me feel a little bit better if stuff is priced.
Yeah, I think things are priced reasonably. Even like, I'm not even sure how much like wands are at Wizarding World. I feel like they're in the 50s, whereas here you could get some of the wands from like $35 to $40. The wands are like a whole separate crazy thing as well. Holy cow. Let me just talk about wands real quick.
Okay. Talk about wands.
In the wand room, they have almost like a pensieve for wands in the middle, and it has the design, all of the wands surrounding it, so you can hold onto the wand to kind of test out how it's going to feel in your hand, and when you hold it, it magically will appear and show you whose wand that is, which is crazy cool. It also has 4 wands in that area that are props from the movies. So cool. So you can see the actual wands from the movies. And then there are new character wands, new house wands that are in there as well, in addition to the exclusive Harry Potter New York wand, which is the Golden Snitch wand. So cool.
Ooh.
That's awesome.
When if they sell out of that one?
I'm not sure, but I feel like it's possible that they are already sold out, or if not, they might be sold out online and you can only get them at the store, which is very possible.
That would make sense.
I personally only bought 2 wands, only 2.
Good job. I would have struggled.
But this would be a really cool thing to talk to Robbie about, who I know was on your wand episode, because there are so many new ones, and I got the 2 Hufflepuff wands that are unreal. They're so beautiful. I had to get them both. I could post pictures of them and post it on our Instagram.
Yes,
actually.
please
so
do.
We should totally do that, because I
see.
definitely know Robbie would, and I know a couple other wand collectors listen to the show too, so I bet they would appreciate that as well.
Oh, they're amazing. Okay, so that's pretty much like a general synopsis of the wand room, the candy room. Then there's also a toy room, and in the toy room it's almost designed like the Forbidden Forest.
Ooh.
It's that is where you're going to find your dirigible plum tree.
I didn't know they had one.
Oh, there's a dirigible plum tree. It's amazing. Then just the details in the store are so just sick. Like, that's the only way I could say it. Like, there's this cool thing where you could look almost like through binoculars and look into the tree, and there's little bowtruckles like living in the trees.
Oh, I love it so much.
And every so often there you can hear like the Blue Ford Anglia like beeping along, and you see the lights flashing for it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, it's amazing. So that room is going to have all of your like stuffed animals. It's going to have all of your magical creatures. It has some like Weasley Wizard Wheezes type things. There were some Funko Pops in there. Other sorts of like miscellaneous things. There was Dobby stuff.
Oh, I wonder if they're going to have a store exclusive Funko Pop. Oh, no.
I wouldn't be surprised. Now that we just mentioned that, Melanie's balloon has just deflated. Although no, because you live close to the store, so it's not a big deal for you.
Yeah, I'm an hour and a half away. I could always make the trip and get it in there. So that's pretty much it for the toy room. Next to the toy room is a little kid baby room, and it was oh my gosh. Yeah, exactly. I had that same reaction.
How did you leave without buying all of it?
She didn't. She bought it all.
Well, I got Nora this little dress with a little sweater. Then I got her this separate like Hedwig sweater, and I sized it up so she'll be able to wear it in the fall and the winter time. And we also got her these little Hogwarts bibs that are just so cute. Ugh, so cute. But they had so much other really cool stuff. They had like pajama sets in there that I missed the first time I went in. And after watching Peter's video, I saw that they had the pajama sets, and I'm like, dang, I have to go back and get pajamas now.
Wait, can you get like the matching pajamas for like your whole family? Like everyone takes their holiday photo.
Oh yeah. And different.
Oh,
you could get like different houses in the matching pajamas. Like,
well, I
so
predict
cool.
what all of our families are going to be wearing at Christmas.
Definitely. Oh my gosh, so cool. So those are all the rooms that are like directly, you have direct access from the atrium. You can also get to like, there's the butterbeer bar that's upstairs. The cash desk is upstairs. And there's this other room that has like more modern styled Harry Potter apparel. It's all different house house designed theme things. I bought this like ultra plush, yummy, delicious zip up sweatshirt from there, like a Hufflepuff themed one.
Ooh.
That I can't wait for it to get cold out so I can wear it. It's amazing. So that was there. In the cash desk area, they have Luna Lovegood themed things with a Luna Lovegood themed spirit jersey, which I need to get that also. I didn't get that in this trip. And
I would want one as well.
Oh, it's so good. It's like tie-dye and amazing. And then the butterbeer bar, you could get all sorts of snacks. You can get your butterbeer
What kind of
ice
snacks,
cream.
though?
There were cookies. There were cupcakes.
Oh, I'm a fan of
all sorts
cupcakes.
of yummy sweets.
That you had me at cupcake. Did you try a cupcake? Were they pretty looking? What did they look like? I just love cupcakes, you guys. I love cupcakes with like the giant piles of frosting. They taste so good. And I love to look at them and imagine how good they're going to taste.
They had this chocolate cupcake that had like a little frog on top. That's the one that like sticks out in my head. And I know that because that's what we got. Peter's mom got one of those cupcakes. So
did she love it?
That's what stuck out. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It was amazing.
Have to try
like
one.
everything looked amazing. I didn't get any snacks. I just got butterbeer. That's all I wanted.
Yeah, and butterbeer is a pretty good sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Mentioning snacks, I just thought, how come at the Wizarding World, when you're like waiting in line for the Hogwarts Express, you can't buy like snacks that they have on the trolley cart?
You know, that's a brilliant idea.
I know.
Because people would.
It's a loss. Like, it's a missed opportunity, really. I know they have those little, like, convenience store shops, like, as you're walking through. We bought grapes there. I think we were there for Melanie's bachelorette party.
Yeah.
We bought water and grapes because it was so hot. It was June, the tail end of June.
Yeah, they have, like, British-themed candy in that little store also. Like, I know I've gotten, like,
cool.
Turkish Delight from in there.
Yeah.
Which that was really fun. But yeah, that's I feel like the closest thing to what Erik
But I think the trolley would
after.
I mean, the trolley could sell a few other things, like they don't necessarily have to be meltables. Like I guess the trolley would sell, but they could come by with like I don't know. Unmeltably.
Well, it wouldn't have to be like going down the train.
Yeah.
It'd just be like in line or even before you get
Or it could be like before the final little bit before you get into the train when it's kind of in the tunnel thing. Although they may not, I don't know how they feel about like drinks and things on the train, but I guess if they're selling them at the little convenience store. Yeah,
that's true. You could do it on the way out. I mean, like, whatever.
It would be a good opportunity though, because
random tangent about candy because I'm getting hungry now that we're talking about snacks.
Yeah. I'm thinking about
do
cupcakes and frosting.
Oh boy. All right. So that pretty much takes care of the upstairs of the store. Then there's the downstairs of the store. And let me just tell you, if the upstairs is anything magical, the downstairs is just as magical. So,
it sounds so overwhelming.
It is, but in like the absolute best way. Like it's just spectacular. So you can either take the stairs down, or I would recommend taking the Flu Network down.
I would totally do the Flu Network so I could have the experience.
You have to.
Or do both. Just go down and then walk back up and then go back down again.
Well, we took the Flu Network every single time because I was accompanied by a stroller. So the Flu Network it was.
Were there lines for the Flu Network?
No, not at all.
Awesome.
Yeah, not at all. That reminds me that there are more other cool things upstairs too. But you know what? I'm gonna leave some stuff to the imagination. And if you have questions about it, feel free to send us an email at dialoguealleypodcast@gmail.com. And I have no problem telling other details about the upstairs. The downstairs, when you first go down, it's like you're in the Ministry of Magic. The tiles on the wall are those greenish, blackish tiles that you see like in the movies in the Ministry.
Oh, how cool.
Like kind of shiny?
Yeah.
Like shiny, dark. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
So cool. When you first go down, Nagini is like hanging from the ceiling and every so often she'll talk to you, which is pretty unbelievable. Yeah, so they have like this is where they have like some like dark arts kind of stuff is when you first get out of the Flu Network. So I'm going to give you like a synopsis, I guess, if you were to be going clockwise through the store. So the next thing you're going to see is there's like a section of where you could get like your robes. There are like the official kind of like Harry Potter student attire you would see down there. But right next to that, they have a section that's called Things That Must Be Named, because they have an area where you could personalize so many of the things that you buy in the store.
Oh,
I'm
nifty.
talking wands. I'm talking your robes you can get customized. You could get pens customized. You can get all sorts of things customized. Most things are going to be a bit of an upcharge to get them customized, but you can get a Triwizard champion shirt and you could get that customized and it's included in the price.
I'm totally wanting to get one of those.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, I didn't get one and I want one. I just couldn't figure out what I would get on the back. So
I'll think about it and then we'll go together and get it done.
Okay, sold. No problem. So that's in that area. Then the next area, they have like a bunch of jewelry and you could see a bunch of like the Noble collection, like official, like fancier kind of items are going to be in that area.
It's like the spendy room.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it's all like such nice stuff. They have like the Alex and Ani bracelets, are in that area. They have, I don't know if you guys know, like the Noble collection has like the creatures that are like in those clear boxes and they're all numbered.
They're beautiful.
Yep.
Yeah, so they have like all of those and I should have bought and I didn't. They have Nagini and that's one that I really wanted and they had it there. And
I haven't seen the Nagini one. I bet that looks neat.
It's so cool. I'm sure I could get it on eBay. That's the only reason why I didn't get it is because it wasn't like exclusive to the store. I really was trying to stick to like exclusive items.
Yeah, I would have done the same.
Yeah, so that's what they have there. And then if you keep going, one of the coolest rooms in the entire store is the Mina Lima room. The House of Mina Lima comes to New York.
I love them. Like their
so
work,
cool.
They seem so nice. I follow them on Instagram. I love their stuff. And I love just how nice they seem to be.
They're
and approachable.
Amazing. And so approachable, so nice. I think the only reason why they couldn't get over to be at the store opening was because of travel restrictions.
Right.
Otherwise, I feel like they would have been there.
I feel like they totally would have been there. Like they're a huge part of this fandom base now in the art community and they are just so amazing.
Yeah. Oh, it's unreal. So in this room, you could get like limited edition exclusive prints that have special metallic notes to them and all of them are numbered. So cool. They had a special limited edition print just for the New York store opening. It was limited to 250 prints.
Oh wow.
That was really cool. But they have note cards, they have letters, they have the Mina Lima illustrated edition of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone in there. I think they have signed copies of Sorcerer's Stone in there as well. I got the impression because I saw some that were like tied up with a ribbon. So I think that those ones were signed. But just the walls are decorated with their wallpaper, which you could also buy there. And the floors are like the Marauders map. It's just so cool. So cool.
I can't wait to go.
You're gonna come, you're gonna stay at my house, and we're gonna go together, and I can't wait.
Ditto.
Oh my gosh. And then there are only 2 rooms left, sadly. But my favorite room, once you leave through House of Mina Lima to the left, there is this archway of Harry Potter spell books, and they're all like themed to like be true to the Harry Potter stories. Like you have like a Transfiguration book, whatever, all along those lines, this archway. And then you have a book room. And in that book room, you have so many different editions of Harry Potter books. And they have a limited edition special little sticker on them that says that they're from Harry Potter, New York, which is so cool. And they have books that are floating and flying on the ceiling.
I saw someone posted short, like, I don't know if it's like one of those boomerang.
Ugh.
Is that what they're called? Like the boomerang
Yeah.
things on Instagram in your story of like the books floating. And I was like, oh, like that just looked so amazing.
Yeah, I want to do that in my library. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. And then just attached to that room is a platform 9 3/4 room. So they have a bunch of like
neat.
Hogwarts Express themed things, platform 9 3/4 themed things. I got this like Hogwarts Express sweatshirt that was really cute that I got from that little area. Also like things that I have never seen before. That's what's so cool is they have so many new pieces of apparel that are things that like you never see anywhere else. So
did they have music playing
really cool.
like they do in Harry Potter? Orlando?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I
You're
figured
completely
they
immersed.
would. It's just that's such a part of the experience for me. Like I love to walk into that part of the park and just hear the music.
Oh
Did
yeah.
they have Moaning Myrtle in the bathrooms?
Missed opportunity. No.
No.
No, she was
well,
not
maybe she'll be there. Maybe they're just getting the bugs out.
Maybe.
That was the biggest like pleasant surprise for me
Yes.
at the Wizarding World when the Diagon Alley expansion opened. I was like, "Are you kidding me? This is unbelievable!"
Oh my goodness!
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it, guys. That's the store. Like
I'm so envious. I'm so glad you got to go. I'm so glad we get to hear about it from you. Like, I just can't wait to go.
and
Well,
I'm leaving out a lot. There's
I'm
a lot
sure.
There's
Like,
a lot of
I
other
think-
things.
I think if we were to give it its like justice, it would be like our podcast would be like multi-parts.
Yeah. I mean, I'm also just trying to leave some up to the imagination because people need to go. You got to go.
Yes.
Got to get there. Got to get to the store.
I want
I'll
to go
get
try
there.
the bottle. I want to go try the bottled butterbeer. I want to try the butterbeer bar, the cupcakes from said bar, and maybe a cookie. And yeah,
Cupcakes on the brain.
Do they have like a resting zone for when you've just consumed all that food? You can
No.
just kind of like
No.
lounge about. No.
Here's
Oh.
my 2 beefs with the store. My 2 beefs. One is I think I have like a slipped disc in my back. So I was in like so much pain the entire day.
Yeah.
And there
no.
is nowhere to sit in the store. Nowhere. Because they're trying to get people in and out. You go
Right.
in, you buy your
Yeah.
things, and you leave.
That-
And
yeah.
I was not there for that. I was there for the experience. I was there to see people that I haven't seen in a really long time. So I was there for like 5 hours. And at one point, there I am with my poor baby who's trying to fall asleep for a nap, trying to rock her and sitting on the floor. And I'm on the floor for 5 minutes and someone came over and told me I had to stand up. And not for nothing, everyone that works in that store, besides the fact that they are phenomenally nice, they're all huge Harry Potter fans. So for them to like have to say something to someone that they're like doing the wrong thing, like I'm sure that they felt terrible telling me that I couldn't sit on the floor, but I don't know, couldn't sit on the floor. So that's one beef. The other beef is they didn't have anywhere that I could change the baby either. Not very baby friendly.
No.
That's hard.
Yeah. So we had to, we went back. My uncle has an apartment in the city. So when we were finally done with the store and we're leaving, we like rushed over to the apartment and I was able to like change her, let her take a little snooze there before we ended up at dinner. So at least there was that. But
Where did y'all go for dinner? I'm apparently
cute
thinking
little
about
Greek
food.
place. You're hungry.
I
We went
just
to a cute little
ate.
Greek place. That's it.
I just love talking about food.
I know. It was good.
Good. Greek food is
Yeah.
so good.
Oh, yum. Yeah, it was close to like my uncle's apartment. So like we met up with Peter and his mom there and had like a nice dinner. My husband came into the city just for dinner. So he was able to see everybody. So it was nice. We had a nice time.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad
Yeah.
y'all got to meet up. I'm sorry I couldn't be there. Like I really wanted to be.
I know.
Just the
There will be
timing
other
of
times.
everything just didn't work.
I'm sure Peter's going to come back in when the virtual reality thing opens up. And
I'm
obviously
sure.
anytime you guys are like in my neck of the woods, like I'm going to make every single effort to see you guys. So
And ditto, like if you ever migrate down to Texas, same for you, Eric, of course. For whatever reason,
Yeah.
I don't know why you would, but I would wait till after
I've
our
been to
summer.
Texas 2 times.
You should come down. Like we've got
and
good stuff
not
here.
just for the airport. I've been there 2 times.
We've got good stuff here too.
I know. I went to the ballet twice.
Yeah, we've got, and San Antonio has fabulous tacos, and we have the Arboretum here in Dallas. Like, y'all should come. But, we'll figure it out.
I have Paisley Park, so...
I know. I need to go visit you, too.
We'll figure something out.
We need to have a meetup with the three of us when things, calm down a bit more.
Oh, my gosh. Sounds amazing.
Our meetup at the store.
Right.
Oh, my word. And we were never heard from again.
That'd be terrible.
No, we just never left. Or I may just get a job at the store. And just never come back.
No, I have a great job.
Yeah, you do.
That would be super fun to work at the store.
And I love my job, too. I just think it'd be fun.
I think so, too. All the people there were so nice. It was amazing.
It's a retirement job, Melanie. Right there.
All right. Sign me up.
Retirement job.
And then you can lobby for letting people sit on the floor.
Because maybe by the time Melanie's retired...
Hopefully they'll have chairs by then.
That will be the time. Maybe they will have come up with chairs.
They could use, what they could use is they could figure out a way to come up with broomsticks or something for benches.
I don't know. They need to come up with something.
Yeah.
Maybe when things start settling down.
That's, I was just going to say, I bet once it's not as popular.
Yeah.
There will be.
But I feel like they're going to probably keep adding stuff quite a bit, pretty commonly to try to keep it always popular.
Yeah. A part of me thinks that, it's not, New York is a destination for so many people around the world, right? So people are already there. But not all those people that are already there are going to be Harry Potter fans. So there's, that's a group of people right there. Also, unlike the Wizarding World, people aren't going to New York just to go to the Harry Potter store. Maybe I would, maybe Carly would, but I think it's a smaller percentage of people would be going there just to go to this store.
I love New York, though. I love the city.
Then would be going just to go to the park. So I think it will eventually
fizzle.
It'll plateau.
Yeah.
It'll cool off enough to make it a little bit more manageable.
Yeah, I think so. I definitely
think in terms of crowd level.
Yeah, I agree. Well, the parks did.
Yeah. It'll be good. It'll definitely settle out.
Yeah.
Eventually.
I just can't wait to go. The excitement is still there.
Well, Melanie, any final thoughts, or should we move on to the translation of the show?
Just if anyone has any questions or anyone wants to see any pictures of anything, feel free to DM us or you can email us. And I'll definitely make sure we post pictures of some of the stuff that I bought on our Instagram.
Uh-huh.
That's it. So yeah, if we want, let's get into that translation of the show.
Translation of the show.
Translation of the show.
I love the translation of the show. I love the main segment too, but I just love the translation of the show. Yes, so the translation of the show is the Dutch Pocket Edition Philosopher's Stone.
Yay, love this one.
And that, when I first saw this book, I saw it first on eBay years ago when I was just getting into the translations, and it's such a cool cover. It's got clouds, blue and white clouds, kind of cartoonish looking, I guess. And it's got the bright red foiling for the Harry Potter.
That's really all it's got.
No, that's it. It's just clouds. It's just clouds.
It just has clouds.
And then the red foiling letters, and the red really makes the other colors really pop. And the size of the book too. It's a pocket edition, so it's smaller and narrower, a little bit thicker. And I just love the size. They're so precious. And of course, 1 through 7 are available in this. And they all have unusual cover art.
I love it.
Yeah, me too. And I think the book, I always smell my books like Melanie. And I actually think it smells pretty good.
Well, we can go into our rating scale and we could talk about how we would rate all of these books.
Fabulous.
Yes. This is Carly. We started this last week. We decided we needed a more definitive way to really express our feelings about each and every inch of these books to our listeners in a way that is understandable to fellow Harry Potter
I was just reading the rating system, and it's really well done.
Thanks, man.
Very well thought out.
All right. So the smell of the book. I agree, Carly. I feel like this is definitely like an exceeds expectations.
I would
smell of
agree.
book.
It's got a nice sweet smell to it. And I like
good.
it. Like the paper and ink both work really well in the smell department. If that's a thing.
Sure, I'll join you on that one too.
Okay, good job.
Better than average.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Exceeds expectations for me.
What about
And then,
size
honestly,
and proportion? Yeah.
Size and proportion, I would give it an outstanding.
I agree. I there's several books that I would give outstanding, and this is definitely one of them.
Because, like, the fact that it's a pocket edition, it really does, like, meet that challenge of it's small, but it's not too small. And the
font is a good size. Like, you can actually read the font.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's really... It's perfect, honestly. It's a
very well thought out book.
Perfect. Yeah, and then for how it feels in your hand also, like I would give it another outstanding. Like it really just feels like,
cuz you can palm it and read.
Absolutely. It's not too cumbersome. Like you could read this book holding it one hand, you got your cup of coffee in your other hand. Like it's really nice. Quality of the book, I would give it an exceeds expectations. I don't really think...
it's not outstanding, but it is exceed expectations. I think what I don't care for is how quickly the spine creases when you start reading it. Like, that is something that kind of irks me. I don't like creased spines.
Yeah, and I'm not one that wants to, like, crack a spine either, especially for books that are, like, in my collection. But, so it's definitely one that I'm careful with.
But I mean, it's well bound, like the ink and glue and the binding. It's all really stout, because I've had some that I've sold over the years that have been very well read. And I mean, it gets a spine lean as you read them, but I've not had any issues with pages falling out. I mean, it's a pretty stout book.
I think it's okay. And then cover art, I would say either an exceeds expectations or outstanding on the cover art.
And see, it's like exceeds expectations plus outstanding minus. It's somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. I agree. I feel like what's so nice about these is that they're unique to the Dutch editions. The only other books with this cover art are
20th anniversary,
anniversary editions right. So they came out with a hardcover set of this cover art, which those books are pretty spectacular also. So we have those in a nice box.
They are, and actually, originally I was going to get the 20th anniversary Dutch and then sell off my pocket ones. And I ran the plan by Peter, and he was like, don't, just wait. And then I got him, and I was like, he's totally right. Because the hardcovers are like this glossy beautifulness, and the pocket editions are just perfect in their own right and size. I couldn't part with them, so I have both.
Oh, I have both of them also, just because I love these covers. Even though they're so simple, like, they're beautiful.
But they're so elegant. And I love on book 4, we see the maze. I love book 5 is like fire. Like, how cool is that?
And book 6 is in my top 10 favorite covers. Oh, the colors on it are it's just beautiful. What a good set. Well done Dutch editions.
I know. What a good set.
So I pulled out my American pocket edition,
yes,
the Scholastic one.
Yes,
you guys know what I'm talking about, right? It's got the Nicholas Flamel Forbidden Forest, and like, to me, that book just like fails as a pocket edition because of typical pocket edition curses, where like it's so narrow and tall that it ends up being really thick, and so like every page is just really, really narrow. And like this pocket edition, the Dutch one, doesn't have that happen at all. Like, it looks just like a regular book that's shrunk down. The proportions are still all fine.
And the paper is not super thin.
No.
So it's not going to be prone to tearing. Like, some of the other ones are like super thin.
Right. So it still feels like a good quality book. So, I mean, I agree with all of you. I think this is an outstanding book overall. And it was my first Dutch book that I ever got. And I bought it myself. And the receipt is actually still inside. I bought it at the airport in Amsterdam. And I'm looking at it, and I'm kind of bummed because I think I said this to you, Carly. She asked me if I wanted to pay in euro or US dollars, and I specifically told her that I wanted to pay in euro because I'd just gotten a credit card with no foreign transaction fees, so I didn't want to use their inflated exchange rate. And then I'm looking at the bottom of the receipt, and it says that the cashier has chosen to pay in U.S. dollars, or the cardholder has chosen to pay in U.S. dollars. The transaction is based on this Global Blue rate plus 3%. So I ended up paying like
more than
$3 extra for this book than I wanted to, which I don't care. I would have bought it anyway, but I'm just kind of.
It's a little late to be
woman
mad,
asked me,
though.
I said euro, and she charged me in U.S. dollars anyway.
You could lodge a complaint, I'm sure.
I should. There's still a phone number on here.
How long ago did you buy it?
Boy, I can't find that date. I bought it on, I think, 10/11/21. No, 10/11/11.
I was about to say,
sorry. No, it's really faded at the bottom here. So I either bought it on October 11th or I bought it on November 10th. I want to say it was
probably November 10th because they do their date backward.
They do, and it was snowing when I went to Disney Paris, so
that makes me
sad.
Go.
That would make sense.
Yes, it would. Well, you could still lodge a complaint. It's just a little bit late.
Good. Really quick, I think we should run down just the Dutch language in general. There's a lot more to it, but it is an official language in the Netherlands, Belgium, and Suriname, which is a South American country, which is pretty cool because typically South American countries are Spanish.
Yeah, and Portuguese.
And a few French in there, but this is a Dutch-speaking country.
I think that is so cool.
It is cool, and I honestly read about Suriname for the first time in depth like this year, which... I mean, I like to read about places, so I read about Suriname. There's also a bunch of dependent countries in the Caribbean.
Oh yeah, I was going to say that. I know, like I've been to St. Martin a bunch of times, and we always stay on the Dutch side of St. Martin. But
and Aruba.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Aruba's on there too. Yeah, so there's a bunch of them. They're all still dependencies on the Netherlands. So
that's wicked neat.
They're still on there too. So over here on the Western Hemisphere, we have a lot of Dutch-speaking places to go to anyway as well. So there's 24 million native speakers, 29 million total speakers if you count people that have learned Dutch as a second language. So it's still a pretty popular language considering the size.
I expected more second language learners.
I know, there's 5 million people that chose to learn Dutch. I wonder, though, because... I mean, it's an official language in Belgium, but a lot of people in Belgium are either bi or trilingual.
Yeah, very true.
So I don't know if they count in that 24 million native speaker one or if they count some of those in...
The L2.
The L2 or L3 in their case. So I'm not
sure either. That's a very good question to research, though. Although...
Yeah, so if any of you listeners want to research
or to tell us about it, if you know the answer, let us know at dialoguealleypodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, I know we do have a Dutch listener. So,
fabulous.
Maybe that person would enlighten us with some more Dutch language history.
Yes, please, because I love the Dutch books as well. I love their covers.
Okay, who wants to say the publisher's name?
I'm good. Harmony?
That's taking the easy way out for sure.
It is very much so.
You didn't get the Uitgeverge. I don't know.
I don't know. Harmony. What about the translator?
VB Bunding.
All right.
Going with that.
I like your assessment.
I am just guessing that the W is pronounced like a V. So I
actually think you're right there.
Oh, well, okay. Well, there we go. So you Dutch listeners, you can tell me how poorly I did.
And give us the correct pronunciation.
You give me a T or a D on our rating scale for either troll or dreadful. But you can give me an outstanding for attempting.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, that is all we have time for today. If you want to get in touch with us, you can find me on Instagram at the Harry Potter Collection. You can also find Erik at Nocturne Erik. That's Nocturne with a K and Erik also with a K. And you can find Carly at All the Pretty Books on Instagram. She also has a website and she's on Twitter and she's on TikTok and
YouTube
and MySpace.
She's still on. I was gonna say she's still on MySpace and Zanga. She still has the Zanga profile.
I still
going.
know my
I don't
Zanga.
even know what Zanga is.
Oh, Zanga.
You can send Carly an AOL instant message, or you can find her an MSN messenger too.
She's just got them all. And
yes,
remember, you can find Dialogue Alley on Apple, Google, or all of your favorite podcast hosting locations. You can also find us directly on Instagram at Dialoguealleypodcast. That's where you're going to find all of the pictures of the things that we talked about today. And what's important for us is if you like what you're hearing, please make sure you give us hopefully a 5-star rating, and we'd love if you could give us a review if you got the chance. It's definitely helpful for us, and it's helpful for our other listeners too, so they know what they're listening to. So now it is time to walk back through the archway, grab a drink from your favorite Porous Pot pub, and into your daily lives. We'll catch you next time.
bye.
Bye.
See ya.